Well, as you know, most weeks I start off by saying, on a Tuesday that is, I start off by saying, there I am, zone 3, right on the edge of zone 2. However, not this week, I'm nowhere near the edge of zone 2. I'm nearer the edge of zone 4 than I am zone 2. So I'm miles away. But I always say as well that one of the players, I've usually got the eye line sort of right. I wasn't that far out, was I, from this guy on the left. But judges have got him looking further to his left. The Mexican, he's looking further to our right, which of course took it a lot higher. I don't think I would have gone that high myself. I did move mine slightly and ended up there. I can't remember where our average was now, but our average was zone 3. I'm pretty sure it was. So yeah, all good solid zone 3 there. That's not even touch and go there, is it? Right, let's have a look at the... let's jump straight into the judging. And there they are, 8 judges this week. Who's in charge? Matt Cannon is lead judge this week. Now, if I look at where I was down by this one, I think, roughly bottom left of that white cross there, the average so far, the preliminary average. I was around there, and it looks like almost, apart from one, almost everybody went higher than me, which is what threw me out. I knew one or two of them would, but I thought, yeah, some of them will go lower, it'll balance out, I'll be about in the middle. But yeah, it didn't work out like that. And if I look at these here, there's, to be fair, there's about 3 in a little tight little cluster up there, top of the things. So it's quite a few of them thought it was going to be higher. There's only one, or one thought it was just much lower. What they're going to take out? Well, I think it's pretty obvious, considering that that's the average so far with 8 crosses in, and the winning average ended up on a corner by here. So clearly, on that basis, they're going to end up taking that one out, aren't they? For that to have ended up there. Don't think they'd have taken any others out. These 4 here, I think, will stay there. They're roughly together. And those 3 are in a clump up there. So it looks like they're removing this stray one out here, which I don't even think that one was that bad. There's, I think there's a logic behind that one. It would make more sense from this player all the way over on the right here to be looking at that one than look at any of the others. But yeah, I think they from what the results was, they must have taken this one out here. But I can't see how they can take out any of the others. Anyway, let's skip to the end and see what they did. Yeah, that's exactly what they've done. They've taken that. Whose cross did they take out? Nigel's. Nigel takes his cross from the one that was down here somewhere. And they've left the other 7 crosses in, which does make sense. Actually, I thought it was further up and to the right than that. Let me just double check that. No, it is just the one. Yeah, it was just the one they took out. And that's where it ended up, because mine was about roughly where that bottom left one is there. So I think I might have been even slightly further left than that, to our left. There we are. Can't be helped. Here's what it is. That's another week I've lost. Another week I had 15% of my £1.50 back, because I had a free ticket this week. Right, let's have a look at this week's picture then. I have thrown one in quickly. Right, so there's my first cross that I've put in so far this week. Why have I gone there? Well, let me draw some lines and we'll have a look. So I started off with this fella on the left here. He wasn't looking in a dead straight line. I thought he was looking slightly sort of up. So I've gone in that direction there from this bearded chap, Matt Walsh, on the left here. And then I thought, right, okay, where's this guy looking to intersect with it? And I ended up there. Draw another one from his other eye. And the two of them obviously look like they're scuffling to get to it. I don't think he's headed it or anything. It looks like what he couldn't have. It's coming down to them. So I think the other guy's moving forward. He's accepted that it's coming to this other guy in the front. So I think it's coming down to this fella, who is looking reasonably steep. So that's my first one of the week. There's a guy at the back there, but he's not much use to us. He's too far away. to for him to be of any use to us. So if I go by roughly body language, mainly by the eyes, because my argument's always been with the eyes, right? That it doesn't matter what their bodies are doing. That in theory they're always going to be looking at the ball. So surely the priority has got to be where the eyes are looking, but then you can adjust it by possibly body language. I'm just not very good at that bit, so I tend to go mostly by the eyes. But and every week I get one of them more or less spot on. I can't get two of them spot on to save my bloody life. But one week I'll get the two of them. But yeah, so I've got him looking in that direction, and I've got him looking quite steep in that direction. So that's what I am. So my first cross of the week is 28921529. That'll be the first one in the comments. To be fair, for the last good few weeks, I've hardly moved my original cross that I've done on a Tuesday. I've had a couple of zone 2s, a couple of zone 3s. But when I've sort of spent the rest of the week looking at it, and we've looked at our average and what you guys are doing, I've usually ended up staying in sort of the area. I mean, for example, I tend not to be swayed by what the others are thinking, what you guys are thinking. But I mean, if 10 of you all sort of went down here, I'd think, well, hang on. If everybody sees it down there, I must be the one seeing it sort of incorrectly or a bit skew-if. So I would move, but when they end up sort of dotted all around mine, it's like, well, okay, maybe mine isn't so bad then. But then it turns out that it is so bad on a Tuesday. Right, that's enough of that. Let's have a look at Revcomps. Now, before we start, my mate Ryan, that started playing about 4 weeks ago and has won 3 times in the last 3 weeks, hasn't yet won this week. I know he's got a lot of tickets on a lot of things, so he might well win another small prize. But yes, this may be the first week of the 4 weeks that he's played that he doesn't win anything. I told him everything comes in threes. It's just an old wives saying thing. And he had that third win. He had the watch, which he's promised to wear into the office tomorrow so we can see it. But yeah, he hasn't had his 4th win in his 4th week yet. But this live draw, this is the one that's on Thursday. This is the one where you just buy a ticket and you can't buy it on a particular car. This is in Thursday's draw. But your ticket is valid for all 6 sort of vehicles, one after another. That's only sold 22% so far, and I don't think people are that keen by the look of it. Which means, out of almost 100,000 tickets, they've got to sell 78,000 tickets in the next 2 days. Perhaps they will, but it just seems a big ask, doesn't it? 78,000 tickets in 2 days. But we're not going to go through those cars because there's nothing I can say that I've got a ticket on that. I've just got tickets for the draw, and I'll win whatever I win, if I win. But its chances are that it is going to be a one-off, or perhaps they'll do that on the Thursdays, because the ones they put on ready for next week, next Monday's draw, are these here. They've got another one of these pickup trucks. It's a Volkswagen Amarok this time. Audi S3 launch edition. Now the one that was drawn yesterday was an S3. But this is, I prefer, there was an RS3 last night, but I prefer the S3. It's a smaller engine. It's not as harsh, not as crazy, but still almost as fast. Only 2,000 tickets, and I was tempted with this, but it's 30 quid a ticket, and that put me off a bit, even though these early bird cash back ones, you get 15% back, so you get something like £4.50 credit back when you buy a ticket on that. So I nearly changed my mind and got one, but I thought, no, do you know what? Even if I spend 90 quid or more 3 tickets, that's still 1,996 tickets that are going to other people. So I didn't bother. This I like the look of as well. Bit too big for what I wanted, and then I looked up the stats on Parker's specs, and it was one of those, because the value was over 40 grand when it was new. For the first 5 or 6 years, it's £600 a year road tax, so that put me off. Especially when I wasn't that keen on it, but I mean, it was all right. This I thought was a sensible looking car. I thought, oh, that's all right. 3,999 tickets. Passat R-Line Edition Estate. That'd be a nice, sensible car, I thought. until I looked up the specs on this. 4-wheel drive, 270 brake horsepower. I think it's a twin turbo petrol. This thing's insane. The 0 to 60 was 5.8 seconds, something like that. And I thought, dear me, that wasn't what I was expecting. I thought it'd have something like a 1.3 or a 1.5 petrol, and it would be a sensible car but could afford to work, but it isn't. Also, it was over 40 grand as well when it was new, so that's another £600 a year road tax. This Abarth thing, now I'm not a big fan of the Abarth, so it never used to be, but I'm sort of coming round that way, because I've had a look at this, and it's absolutely hilarious. It's the size of a small shoe, and yet it's the 1.6 turbo. I think they're 0 to 67 point something. And I thought, do you know what? That would be a hilarious laugh. You could park it anywhere because it's tiny. It's bound to be relatively economical to run because it's tiny. So I thought, yeah, go on, let's get a ticket on that. So I did. And the other one I got a ticket on was this McLaren. Only because it's £70,000 a year. £70,000 a year. £70,000 cash alternative. A year, that would be nice, wouldn't it? I'd give up work. Yeah, so I've only got those two for next Monday. Let's have a look at the auto draws then, because they're the ones that swing me every time. So this one's tonight. I got 3 tickets on this. Polo. Automatic 1 litre. But it's just really nice car. That's only 65% sold so far. This BMW, I said, yeah, I really like that one. I'm in an hour in about maxing out and having 10 tickets on this. However, I didn't. I got 6 in the meantime. Well, I say 6 so far. That's being drawn tomorrow. And then, just out of greed, I've got 1 on this for the 30,000 cash alternative and 1 on this for the 60,000 cash alternative. Oh, and I won a £5 credit last night as well on the What's the Word. Didn't bother with the Corsa. I did get some tickets on this Golf. It's an e-hybrid and it's quite nippy, apparently. This Focus RS, 400 brake horsepower. That wasn't there earlier, so it's the first time I've seen this one. Oh, it's only 0.2% sold, so yeah, they must have only just added it, moments ago, within the last sort of half hour or so, I'm guessing. 10,000 tickets, £5 a ticket. I know that'll sell. People like those sort of things. Anyway, that's it from me. Let me know what you got on then, guys, because I think the average might have been a bit too high for most of us. In the meantime, and leave a coordinate as well. Leave a coordinate for Saturday's video, so we can have a look what everybody's thinking, their way of thinking, and have a look at the possible average. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of your week. Cheers, guys.